Hi, class. Welcome to week number 2. I wanted to make a quick video to walk you guys through a couple things and make sure that everybody's on the same page. So first off, let's talk about last week. All of your grades for last week are now up to date. So I want you to go take a look at those. We have like a terminology journal every week, and you have a lot of assignments due. This is a good time to check and see what I think of the level of answers that you're giving. So make sure you see my feedback. I, for each one of you, explained whether or not you're hitting the level I want. Maybe I need a little bit more, whatever. So make sure you check your grades on that. Also, if you lost any points, make sure you notice why, so that for the future you don't need to worry about it. Past this week, I hope to not remind people, hey, you need to give more comments or things like that. I expect you to have figured that out by then, but just in case not, there's a rubric for every assignment, and each assignment, if it asks for comments, asks for a specific amount of comments. So just make sure you're hitting all those. The other thing I want to talk about is most of you are aware now of my strict policy for when things are due, and there's only 2 days that you have for grace for most assignments to turn them in late. Some assignments have no grace period. It'll say in the assignment. It depends on how it works and what it is. So, but if you didn't do last week's terminology journal with the syllabus, then you might not know that. So, several of you have written to me and asked, hey, can I still turn that in? Normally, no. This isn't something I do ever. But you won't know that unless you look at the syllabus and do the syllabus work. So if you still need to do that work, I went ahead and opened it up for one more week. So it's technically not closing until this coming Sunday. However, with the way late work works in this class, if you turn it in now, it'll lose a ton. Probably it'll be at 0 already, just by losing 10% per day. Whatever your score is, though, if you turn it in late, I want you to email me and let me know after you've turned it in. Then I will know to go back and mark it as only 2 days late. That way you only lose that 20%, and that's it. So I want to make sure that I keep this as fair as possible. As you'll learn, starting this week, next week, you'll learn all about my values, and you're going to learn that fairness is really important to me. So this is part of my attempt to make that fair. So for any of you who didn't, because if you need to know the syllabus, but if you missed last week's work, then you missed the syllabus. So that's why I'm being graceful just this time. But the grace is still going to be late work, so get that in and let me know. Otherwise, let's talk about this week. So this week, you have an assignment due tonight. You have an assignment due every Tuesday night, and that's for your terminology journal. So make sure you're on track with that. And then, actually, it's your read about it that's due. Your terminology journal is due tonight. You read about it, and then you have your terminology journal. What's due this coming weekend, you have some pair-up work to do, which I think is fun. Most people say this assignment is a lot of fun. So you have that to do. Make sure that you're on track with that. It's not just typing up. You have to actually do some work with a partner. This class is all about communication, so that's why I'm having you do it right away. Other things to notice for this weekend, let me see here. You have a reflection about cell phones that's also due October 4th. And then you have your extra credit. You have an extra credit assignment that's due by the 1st, October 1st, if you want to do it. It's a fun one. It's an assignment where you give instructions to each other. I think it's a fun one, but it's not required. But it does have a due date, which means you have to do it by October 1st if you want these extra credit points. I have these assignments due at specific times because they add to the discussion of that week, right? They're all about what's happening then. So that's why there's a due date on these, and so you can't do them late. So this class has a strict late policy, and I know that. But as soon as you understand that what I'm trying to do is to keep it all fair, hopefully it makes sense, and hopefully understand how to manipulate it. Right? You have 2 days of grace for most assignments. So make sure that you follow that and use it. And let me know if you have any questions or problems at all along the way. Like I mentioned in the syllabus and stuff, if life comes up and hits you and it's too much and too hard and you need some extra time, reach out to me. But the trick is you have to talk to me before due dates actually happen. If you tell me, oh no, this horrible thing happened to me over the weekend, it's now Monday and assignments were due last weekend, can I have some more time? The only fair answer to that is no, which I hate doing. I don't like doing that. So if life happens to you, oh no, it happens, reach out and talk to me as soon as you're able. I want you to pass this class. So there we are. Anyway, I'll see you guys on those discussion boards. Let me know in the meantime if you have any questions, if I can help you with anything at all. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the discussion boards, and I'm really happy you're in this class. Let's go with week number 2.